Hey everyone, welcome back to Toasty TCG. This weekend I got second place at my local's monthly Edison tournament playing Volcanic Antimeta. If you remember, my first Edison video was on my other anti-meta list, so this is kind of like an alteration of that, where that variant was like playing the Jars, Yadas, and then like Cyber Valleys, Caiuses, things like that. I changed a lot of those cards out in favor of like Volcanics and another consistency engine to just have like a lot more card advantage and still interact with cards that I personally just enjoy playing, like Doom Caliber Knight. So to get right into the list, first we've got three of the boys. We got our three Doom Calibers. I just picked up this QCR last week. It actually looks really nice. Then we got three more of the boys, Kaikus, and then three more of the boys, Ryos. So these 9 cards, they're optional, honestly. I just like playing them because they're cool. But like they all serve like different functions. Like Doom Caliber is really good either in the grind game or like your first turn play. If you're going first and you start with like a Doom Caliber, it makes your opponent play awkwardly. And then in grind games where you just summon it and it's like if they're on like one or two cards, it's like now they have to trade with the Doom Caliber, which sucks for them. Kaiku is just like, I don't know, Kaiku is just like the mid-game GOAT. Like I played against Light Sworns in round 3, and I think this like if it hit them like once or twice and just ripped important things out of it, forced them to use like Herald, things like that. So this card just trades very well, and if it's left unchecked, it just gets way out of hand. And then Thunder King Ryo is just also super good. The problem with these cards, if you like, it's pretty obvious. Like they interact with like the Volcanic engine negatively. Like you can't search with Rocket under Ryo. You can't summon Rocket or use Shell under Doom Caliber. So I understand not wanting to play them. I'm personally just like, they look cool. They're big guys. I've just been playing them in my anti-meta list forever, so I'm just going to continue playing them. I just like how they look and they're cool. Next up was pretty much just like the obvious guy. We got a Gorz in here. And then the other engine that I mentioned was 3 Spy and Descendant. So this list is somewhat based on what got second place at a recent Edison list. It was like Volcanic Black Rose Garden or whatever the field spell's called. So I'm not playing Garden, I'm just playing the pile of my favorite guys. And then I just tried these out, and these were pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about them though. There's definitely like times where it's just I think it was round 2, I played against Hero Frogs, and it's like after siding I had skill drain, but then these were all I was seeing, so I just couldn't aggro the swap frogs. It just sucks. I'm just like, I don't know, I have my 2000 defense to hang out for a while, but just like eventually they were able to beat over it, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it was just bad variance, but I feel it's weird. Like Descendant was really good. The Spies were just kind of like mid, because this is it's more of an aggro deck at its heart. This is I'm gonna try to like stop you from making plays and just punch you in the face over and over. And these guys, they don't punch anyone in the face, not too much at least. Descendant's pretty cool though. Like if you go like flip Spy, summon Descendant, normal another Spy, pop 2, like that's pretty cool. Otherwise, it's just like seeing them in this type of deck, they just didn't feel that great. Onto the Volcanic engine. 3 rockets, 3 shells, and I'm playing just 1 accelerator. I didn't see a reason to play a second one because Rocket can add from deck or graveyard, so I just never felt like I needed the second one. Even when this card got removed, once I saw like the second Rocket, or I averaged and saw the first Rocket again, this was never like, I was never like, man, if only I had a second Blaze accelerator. This engine was pretty good. There's times where it's like I didn't have Shell, but that wasn't really a big deal too much. Or there's times where like I only had Shell, and like I see this as like the rockets are, it's like you're playing 4 blaze accelerators effectively, but 3 of them have 1900 attack. So for the most part, it was just like, it was the shells. It was either seeing the shells or not seeing the shells. And it's like basically seeing half of the engine or not half the engine. That was the problem. It's like you want to see everything together. So when you saw them separate, it was just kind of like I'd rather see the rocket separate from the shells, because at least I can go like rocket deck thin. But just seeing the shell was like, I'm not sure if I want to set it so it can get run over and then I can deck thin, or keep it in my hand because I don't want to like set it and then next turn draw rocket or accelerator. I'm like, oh, now this card's useless. So it just created that kind of awkward conflict. For the spells, there's like the obvious guys. Then I was playing I was main decking a Vortex. This card is pretty good. Like round 1, I played against Blackwings, and it's just, you know, Vortex against Blackwings is good. And it was actually, I think this is the first deck that I main decked a Lightning Vortex, and I liked it. It was pretty good. 2 Gold Sarks. This is to mitigate that problem that I talked about with the Volcanic, where it's like see one half or the other. With Gold Sark, I was like 100% of the time I was going for shell, because I was effectively playing 4 accelerators like I mentioned versus playing 3 shells. So I wanted a Gold Sark for the shell. Just made most sense to me. There was never a point where I Gold Sarked for anything else. I guess it was mostly because like I was seeing Gold Sarks before I was seeing shells. Otherwise, I don't even know what else I could do, like what there was to search for. I think I might have gone for an Avarice once, but I honestly forget. I'm pretty sure it's just like I Gold Sarked once for shell, and then I didn't draw any of these, and I Gold Sarked again for the other piece. Yeah, I don't think I ever had it can't come up where it's like I Gold Sark for anything else. I just want to see the Volcanics. And then 2 Pot of Avarice. This card is pretty solid. It was live most of the time. There was like, I think there's one game where it's just like I saw it too early, and it was just wasn't live that game. But for the most part, every time I saw a Pot of Avarice, it was super clutch. For traps, Torrential, Mirror Force, Legacy, Jar, Dust Shoot, and Judgment for 1-ofs. So it's all pretty standard. I played 1-in-1 because this is kind of like a big brain play. Is if they see 1-in-1, they're gonna think that you're playing 3 of each. Versus if you just flip like 2 jars, then it's like they're not even like the Yada's not even like their head. But if you like, because initially before I was playing Gold Sark, I was playing, I think it was like 3 jar and a Yada, or like 2 and 2, something like that. And then I cut it down, and I cut it down. Like initially I was playing 3. Like in the original list, you guys remember I was playing like the 3 jar, 3 Yada, but now I cut it down a little more. Then I was like, okay, we're just gonna play 1-in-1. I was just like, yeah, I think that there's like, this makes sense to me, because it's just like, again, if they see like the 1 jar, they see the 1 Yada, then their brain is telling them there's 3 of both of these. So it could make their decision making kind of awkward. Other traps are just like the obvious, Bottomless, Dust Tornado, Deep Prison. And then that's it for the main deck. Onto our side deck is the 1 Fossil Dyna, 1 Possessed Dark Soul, 2 Crow, 2 Cyber Dragon, and 2 Breakers. So I don't know what, like, there's not a whole lot to say here. Breaker's good for just going second. I really like this, made a lot of sense to me. Because just like, Dust Tornado is such a good card in Edison, but once, like, when you go into game 2 or 3 going second, it just becomes like, it can feel too slow at times. So I really liked having the Breakers. Cyber Dragon, DD Crows or DD Crows, Possessed Dark Soul for frogs, and Fossil Dyna. I know like a lot of people like to play 2 of it, but I've heard something that made a lot of sense to me, where someone said like, if you go, like say you open like both of them, for example, right? if you go summon Fossil Dyna and they have the out to it, that second Fossil Dyna in your hand isn't, like, if the first Fossil Dyna didn't get you there, the second one isn't either. And that made a lot of sense to me to cut down to just the one Fossil Dyna, and I've had no real complaints about it. It's been, like, it's okay. It's either they have the out to it or they don't. One knock. I just like this card for Lightsworn and anything that plays Raikou. I feel like every time I see it, I just play the one, so it's never like, I'm never like upset that I saw it. And I've had games where it sits in my hand for like a while, and then they finally set something. I go like, okay, I already have the knock for it. I never felt like I need the second one. I never felt like this was like a wasted card. When I sided into the right matchups, like I mentioned, like round 3 I played against Lightsworn, and I think he was only playing the one Raikou, and it's just, I was playing against Lightsworn, so I put the knock in, and the moment he set the Raikou, I had the knock already prepared. 2 skill drain, 2 pulling the rug, 2 royal oppression. These are just the I win trap cards. These were good all day. Like round 4 I play against Machina Gadget, that's when this went in. And then these just, anytime that I was going first, I'm pretty sure like skill drain and oppression went in. The side deck pattern was really easy too. So like, typically I could side out like a Doom Caliber, or if I was playing against like a deck that's not Grave heavy, I could side out like a Kaiku. I don't think I ever sided the Ryos out. I didn't side any of the Volcanics out. And then it's like, where are they? These are like blank cards that you could always just side out. Dust Shoot, side out for when you're going second. I prefer to side it out because, like, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about Dust Shoot going second. I think it's like, when you're going second, I feel like this just goes out. You just don't want to risk it being a dead card. Dust Tornadoes can get swapped for breakers when you go second. It depends like how back row heavy the matchup is though. Because like I mentioned, like once you're going second into game 2 and 3, Dust Tornado just becomes like a bit too slow. So if you're not playing like a back row heavy deck, I'd rather just swap these out for breakers. And it's like say it's like literally any Raikou deck, you can just go like normal breaker, pop their back row, trade with the Raikou, sure. Like just that, for example, versus like you set the Dust Tornado, pass, they flip Raikou anyway, and now it's like you Dust Tornado their back row, unless it was like, I don't know, like MST, who cares, right? But it's just like, just being able to like pop the back row one turn earlier can make a huge difference. And then like the extra deck's pretty much irrelevant. There's no tuners in this deck. There's no way to take your opponent's tuners. Like, it's literally just, this is an extra deck from something I played like last month I didn't have like a great time with. So it's literally just 2 Chimera techs effectively, and then everything else is just the Flexure deck. But yeah, that's about it. This is my like Volcanic anti-meta pile of cards I like to look at, and Gravekeepers. Overall, deck worked very well. Only problem I had, I think, like I lost against the my round 3 opponent because I don't know, I just didn't really see a whole lot of big monsters. I kept seeing my spies and like seeing shells. Like that's the worst. Is like when you see because like shell and spy are like just tiny little dudes. So when you see both of them and you just don't see anything else, it's kind of sucky. So I might like try something in place of these. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions, like if I cut these 4 cards, what I can put in place of them. Someone was telling me like maybe like an Ancient Gear package, like Ancient Gear towns, 3 towns, and like the level 8 guy maybe. I don't know about that, but I don't know. There's definitely options. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like this type of video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm almost to 250 subscribers, so let's get there. And I will catch you guys in the next one.